Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the White Sox Did What podcast, brought to you by me, everyone's favorite host, Harry, and our favorite co-host, JJ3. What's going on, big sir?
What's happening? You
Stop throwing
back?
up gang signs on our podcast. I know we
You
in
back?
Chicago, but come on.
I mean, we in Chicago. It is what it is, but that's just the peace signs, the deuces.
Facts. Oh, okay.
No,
Just
no
making sure.
extra, no extra stuff. Make sure my hat is back, but it's straight back, right? It's not to the
Okay.
left, to the right, straight back.
All right. No gang banging today.
No, none of
Not
that.
not here. Even though I
No.
am filming from live inside O Block, I got my pistol on me just in case. Anyway, let's start it off.
You was gone last week. I had to do the show with a North Side fan. You feel me?
Wow, how scary was that?
Hey man, we end of days at this point.
Speaking of end of days, talk about our team record. Holy crap! Yes or no? We will break the shutout record.
Yes.
Why?
The Sox have had one shutout in every series that they've played so far. Every series, they've been shut out at least one time.
That's a little crazy. I'm gonna have to see if Jonte Porter is back there in the locker room because I need to make sure ain't no funny business going on my FanDuel because this is insane. I saw a Porter jersey. I had to double check it wasn't Jonte. All right, never mind. You're not.
It's tough times out here, man. It's tough times out here for the White Sox. You feel me? Like you shut out in the first game of the series against Minnesota, and I've already talked about how bad the White Sox offense is, and Minnesota is the only other team as bad as the White Sox. They shut us out. Come on, man. What are we doing? It's not a good look. You lose to Minnesota the first game of the series. What was it, 7-0? You played
something stupid like that.
Something absurd, right? You played the second game of the series, which was yesterday. You don't get shut out, right? I'm gonna clap it up for him, right? You don't get shut out, but you blow the game, right? You lose the game. You're up 5-2, and then your favorite manager, Pedro Garfol. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what happened. If I don't know if he hit his head in the dugout. He tries to send Kopech out there for a 6-out save. Doesn't work. He gets scared. Kopech gives up a couple of runs. So in the 9th inning, he puts in your setup man, which is Steven Wilson, who they got in a trade for Cease. He's one of the pieces that the White Sox got back. He's a clear setup man. He's not a closer. Let me say it for the third time. He is not a closer.
But, hold on. Say it one more time, just because I didn't hear you that last time.
He is not a closer.
Okay, I heard him. I heard him, everybody.
So you put him in the 9th inning. He blows the save. White Sox lose to Minnesota 6-5. Byron Buxton just does Byron Buxton things again like that. The brother almost gives me nightmares at this point as a White Sox fan because he's been torturing us and torching us for years. Like if he's healthy in the lineup for them,
guys like that.
He's just he rakes against the White Sox. So that's unfortunate. Speaking of live score update, bottom of the 5th, 4-3. Minnesota's currently up 1 run.
Oh, you meant speaking of the score. You said another word there, and I was linking those two together. See, I was like, oh, speaking of, wait. All right, I'm back. I just had to catch up.
Okay. Stay with me now.
I'm with you.
Lock in.
Speaking of runs, I was about. It's at least this game's closer than the past few, but we still can't score. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm on team. Don't fire Pedro just yet. Let's see what happens. I don't know if there'll be a miraculous turnaround, but Eloy Jimenez is back. I thought he'd be out for a lot longer. So there is some offense getting better with some health, but we still stink. And it's not just because of Pedro. Vaughn can't hit. Lee,
Vaughn
Sheets.
can't hit at all right now.
It is bad. Like even
It
if we
is
kept
really
Abreu because Abreu is doing terrible on Houston, we'd still be in the
yes.
same spot. Something about just nobody can hit anything today is just, or anything this year is just insane. You can go into the minor leaguers. I don't care one bit for minor leaguers until they come up, because for me, coming up is what matters. But I know there's plenty of fans about the development of minor leaguers in the minor league. And with that being said, though, what kind of manager do you think Pedro is? Clearly, he's not a manager of veterans. They got what's his face over there on the north side, and I don't think Cubs are that talented at all. But my goodness, are they disciplined? They could lose 4 of their stars, and they play so disciplined compared to the Sox. I don't understand why they're so disciplined compared to us, and I'm going to say that's a management thing. What can Pedro do to give more discipline to the White Sox? And then if he can't, is he just a guy that's there to maybe develop the minor league rookies?
So you started off with that by saying what type of manager is Pedro Garfol. He's a terrible one, right? He's a terrible manager. He's learning on the job. So far, he's done nothing to impress. He's only done enough to make me believe that he's not cut out for this job. Pedro Garfol is making me miss the days of Rick Renteria when he was the manager of the
That's
White
crazy.
Sox.
That is
Because it is crazy.
crazy.
It is 100% crazy. But he's making me miss having Rick Renteria. Because, and to your point, to follow up on what you were saying, right, about player development, about discipline, you compared the White Sox to the North Side team and how they seem to be a much more disciplined team. And discipline is 100% a result of your manager, of your coaching, of the people that you put in place to run your team and run your organization. So when you talk about how the discipline is missing, that starts at the top. And I don't believe Grafal is good at that aspect of being a good manager whatsoever. Renteria, for all of his faults, he was a disciplinarian, right? If you didn't run hard to first base, you were out of the game immediately. He didn't tolerate it, right? He didn't tolerate guys loafing around. He didn't tolerate guys not, going after those ground balls. Like if you're showing any signs whatsoever of a lack of effort with Renteria, the leash was extremely short with him, right? And so credit where credit was due in that regard. He wasn't the type of manager who's going to take you all the way to, a World Series, right? Renteria is not the starter from the bottom, now we're here manager, right? He was just strictly that point A, give him a bunch of young, needs to be shaped, needs to be molded talent, turn them into professionals whom can take a step towards competing and being a disciplined team. That was what Rick Renteria was. Grafal's not that, man. This dude, he doesn't have that whatsoever. He just doesn't. Not a fan. I don't know who he has dirt on. I don't know what pictures or videos that he has locked away somewhere as to why he got this job. But he's in the position that he is right now. Maybe he can, maybe a miracle happens and things turn around for him. But I don't see it currently. To answer your question, not a good manager. Bad, terrible, awful, garbage, basura.
My running theory, I think Pedro is Cuban as well, along with the majority of our team. It might be Cuban government related, and that's where the blackmail started. Government Cuban conspiracy. You see what happened to Kennedy, and after seeing that, it's like, yo, I don't want no smoke if I'm Reinsdorf. So whatever y'all need over there, Cuba, I'll hire whoever y'all want. Just I don't want any smoke. That just a running theory, putting it out there in the wind.
Yeah.
If it catches, it catches. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All right.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, just putting it out there.
Or Reinsdorf's just cheap and doesn't want to pay for a new manager.
I keep hearing that. I don't know how I feel about that because we did hire what's his face, drunk buddy.
LaRussa?
Yeah, we did hire LaRussa, and I don't think he was
Yeah,
cheap. He was
but
too old,
that
but
was
I
his
don't think he was
BFF
cheap.
though. That was old boy network reaching out to one another, right? That was I need to call my cigar buddy, whom has been my friend for decades, whom I probably let get fired at a time when he shouldn't have gotten fired 30 years ago. And because he's my cigar buddy and I still love and respect him, I'm gonna bring him back to manage a team that he has no business managing. That's what that was. Money wasn't involved. That was just a bunch of personal feelings, old boy network connections involved right there.
I can see
That's
that. But
why that's why
Garfol was
LaRussa was here.
Grafal was a royal, and you know how Getz likes to hire his royal guys. So I think that was more Getz hire than a
Get
Ryan Saunders
well,
hire.
well, Getz wasn't in charge at that point, so that was Rick Hahn
Mm,
who made that hiring decision after LaRussa stepped away.
gotcha.
So LaRussa stepped away because of health issues. Rick Hahn at the time finally got to pick a manager that he wanted, and then for some unconscionable reason, he decided Pedro Garfol was going to be his guy. Score update: Twins have just scored another run, so it's currently 5-3 Minnesota, bottom of the fifth. But I'm good with this with the conspiracy angle too. I mean, the Cuban government has some dirt. Yeah, I'm not mad at you, bro.
Next few draft picks going to be all Cuban, and we're going to know why. Cuban government beef. Stadium talk. But it's a weird twist. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Sox, kind of. The Bears got approval. I think they got approval, or was it just a presentation for a new stadium, 5.6 billion, which is great, but I didn't hear anything in combination with the Sox. Like the original plans that were being talked about a few weeks ago. I
Right.
guess the city went up to both teams and said, "Hey, you guys have to present separate proposals." And Bears submitted theirs. Sox, I don't think they've submitted theirs yet, and I don't know why they haven't. If they didn't, I got a little article here. I don't want to read the whole article. I don't want to bore you guys to death. Right. Bears full stadium, 4.7 billion. The team said it would contribute 2 billion. So the Bears have 2 billion to commit to the stadium, and certain people they can't pay, but whatever. I see why Rowan
Right.
asking from 300 million from the NFL. I didn't know the NFL could just give money like that. I'm learning so much in this article.
Well,
And
I mean,
then
the NFL does contribute to stadium funds when
I
teams try to come build new stadiums, for sure.
had no idea.
As a
And then,
loan.
Yeah, 100%.
oh,
Yeah, they'll
okay.
100% loan some money for a
Gotcha.
stadium.
And then Illinois Sports Facility Authority is giving 900 million, so that leaves about 1.5 billion that the team would look for public money, which is us taxpayers, to make up the difference. As for White Sox, they're aiming to build a new stadium at the 78th. What does that mean? Like the 78th in Racine? Or are we talking 78th in Cottage? Because we can take out that whole entire block. That block is useless. Like just let me know what part of 78th y'all want to take out. I'll help y'all take it out. It don't matter to me. Anyway, new stadium at the 78th, which is a plot of open land in the South Loop of Chicago's downtown area. There's only so much open land in South Loop, so it's that area by the train station. I don't know how much this can work. They're hoping for public funding to assist their and it's only 1.25 billion. You think this would get the actual public? Yes. Using a collection of hotel taxes, sales tax from hypothetical stadium, and private investment to help issue new bonds that create new lines of revenue for said bonds in the stadium. And then also Reinsdorf himself said he would contribute and invest 200 million into this new stadium money as well.
Oh, he reached into the couch and saw some spare change, and he decided to contribute toward the stadium plans.
Absolutely. He was washing his clothes and said, "Oh, look, 100 million right here. Oh, whatever.
200 mil. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I guess I'll contribute towards the stadium plans. I mean, it won't break me to spend $200 million.
I'm just wondering, from my personal self, what happens to Comiskey? Does it now just become the world's largest strip club? because that's what I do with what's in Comiskey. Just put a bunch of poles in there, and now you're going to see it packed for the first time in a long time since 2005 of just a full stadium full of strippers and men. Outside of that, I just don't understand when two teams in the same whatever time period start moving to different stadiums. It's like, hey guys, we got two stadiums that are giant empty. Who's gonna move or play over there? Do the Bulls now decide, you know what? Let's go to where Comiskey was, or let's go to where the old Soldier Field was. I don't know. I'm still learning the logistics of stadium stuff.
No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I'm stadium stuff, as you put it, can definitely be complicated at times when you start factoring in a whole lot of dollars and cents. Taxpayers, though, has always been my position that it should never fall on the public taxpayer to fund a billionaire stadium. You're a billionaire.
That's
You got the money. You figure it out. If they put either one of these stadiums on a ballot to have the citizens vote on, which they should do, right? It should be placed on the ballot to actually vote on. Man, I would vote this thing no as quickly as possible, without
I think a lot of
any
people are gonna
hesitation.
vote no.
Because
There's gonna be a lot of no votes.
Listen, man, there's still money in taxes owed on Soldier Field. So you have a brand new stadium in the works that you're planning to build up while tearing down Soldier Field, and you still owe money on that. So you're going to ask a lot of taxpayers when you start talking about a brand new stadium for the Bears, a brand new stadium for the White Sox, and you want taxpayers to contribute for these things. Come on now. Billionaires need to pay for billionaire stadiums. I'll go in and I'll buy my drinks and I'll eat my food, and that'll be the contribution that you can get from me as a someone who buys tickets and supports a team with merchandise. But as soon as you start talking about raising my taxes, I'm out. Live score update: Twins are up 6-3 now, top of the sixth.
Jesus.
Yeah, and Garrett Crochet is actually on the mound. 6 Ks, 2 walks, only 4 innings pitched.
He's given up 7 hits. My goodness.
So again, and this has been a running topic with Crochet, right? When we started the show from episode 1, we said that he's inexperienced, right? He's a young guy. He's doing this for the first time. He hadn't started a major league game, and you made him your opening day starter. Cool, no problem. But there are growing pains with that, right? It's a long season, very long season, and you're only as good as what your last start was. So here he is, 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, 87 pitches, 57 thrown for strikes. His ERA is now currently 6.37. So again, a lot of growing pains there with Crochet, a lot of things that he's going to need to work through if he wants to continue in a role as a starter, which I'm sure he does, of course, right? Why wouldn't you want to continue to remain a starting pitcher? But a lot of work to continue towards that role of getting better and being able to go deeper in games and being able to be consistent, right? His first 2 starts were outstanding.
Absolutely.
Definitely what you wanted to see, and you want to see that continue, but he's got some work to try to get back to that. All the White Sox pitchers and players have work to do to get back to being consistent performers on a game in, game out basis.
I'm trying to understand. This is what I mean about I don't know what Garfol's doing. Vaughn's been terrible all season. There's no good game he's had yet, but he's still
Not one.
4th in the lineup. Whereas Corey Lee came in and he's been doing pretty decent as far as contact, because you want your
Right.
contact guys up top. He's batting last. Like, why is Lee batting last? It's actually wanted offense. The last guys don't get as many attempts. They might end the game with 2 to 3 attempts, whereas the top 5 guys are the ones who see the 4 and 5 hits. I just don't understand his batting order. Maybe if Vaughn gets hot, then you bring Vaughn back in the top four. But
Right, I
after the
understand.
first 20 games, you still have him in the top four. It makes no sense. Just nothing makes sense right now. You want your worst guys batting less, not more.
Well, like I said, Pedro Garfol is not good,
At
right?
all.
He's not good. But I mean, the Sox lineup has gone through a lot of drastic changes, right? I mean, you've had injuries to key players, key contributors, right? We already discussed how Luis Robert has gone down with an injury. Yon Moncada's gone down with an injury. Jimenez was out. He's back. He's in the lineup today. He's batting third. Currently, 2 strikeouts, no hits for Eloy Jimenez, right? You bring up Danny Mendick, who was a contributor on the major league team in years past, right? He had an ACL injury. He's healed up. He's back. Recall from Charlotte where he was playing extremely well, but you're in AAA, right? I mean, you're supposed to be a big leaguer. You're killing AAA. Great. He came up here and he's only played what 1 or 2 games. His average since he's been back with the White Sox, 333.
Nice.
Batting average, 333 on base, 417 slug, 750 OPS. That's through what, a game and a half worth of work. I mean, so those numbers could easily go down. They could stay steady. They could go up. You don't know. We'll have to see. Gavin Sheets, previous shows, I mentioned how Gavin Sheets was playing well. Currently, right now, 1 strikeout, no hits, average at 250. I mentioned Eloy Jimenez. Yesterday, he hit a 3-run homer. Today, 2 strikeouts. His average has gone up to 200. That's how bad he's been playing since he's been back. You already touched on Vaughn. I mean, Vaughn is batting 159, right? This was a guy who was supposed to be, he was a standout hitter in college, right? He was touted for having power. He was touted for having plate discipline, having good bat the ball skills, pause just in case. So we're not seeing it from him at all.
Nope.
Benintendi is in the lineup after Vaughn. He's batting 169. We've continued to discuss how terrible Andrew Benintendi is. Paul DeJong,
before he got here.
Man, listen. I don't even understand. Paul DeJong, who's batting next, he's only hitting 208. Kevin Pillar, who's batting next, he's hitting 182. So while I understand why is Vaughn hitting so high in the lineup, why is he 5th? The truth of the matter is, who else are you going to bat in that spot? Right? I just listed the names. Everybody else that's behind Vaughn has an average that's almost as bad or only a little bit better. Right? Again, 159, 169, 208, 182, 162. If Vaughn doesn't bat 4th, who's batting 4th? We could put Corey Lee right there, but he's only hitting 263. Like he's not lighting the world on fire. And part of the reason his average is as high as he is because he typically is going to bat lower in the order. He's going to have lower opportunities at the plate, just like you already highlighted. So he's going to have to make the most of his opportunities. So you don't get quite as many opportunities. And if you are successful, your average is going to be higher. But I don't really see who else in this lineup you're going to put there other than Vaughn. He's got to hit someplace. If you put him 8th or 9th, then you're telling me you're moving Andrew Benintendi up or Paul DeJong up.
I'm actually okay with Paul DeJong moving up.
Okay, but there's no real good options, right? That's the key takeaway. There's not really any good options from that standpoint. No. Like anybody you replace Vaughn with is hitting just as bad as he is. Like there's not any real, there's nowhere to really turn right there. Nowhere. Maybe we need to turn to the minors because right now the majors is not where it's at.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Sending in some minor leaguers. Maybe we just need some fresh bats, some new names. That might help things. But again, it depends on, do you even trust the manager to develop the young talent? Right now, the consensus is no. We don't trust Pedro Garfol to do anything right now. So it is what it is. he doesn't have a lot to work with, but at the same time, you can tell we're not that great a team or being managed that great because our defense is horrendous. So you can't tell me the bats suck and we have no defense. So it's like
That's what
pick
I'm
your
going to tell
poison.
you.
Yep.
The bats suck and we have no defense. Yes, I hate to say that, but that is the case. You keep saying we don't trust you. You listen to the Future back there, Metro Boomin.
I am.
We don't trust you. We still don't trust you.
Got that album on repeat.
On the whole playlist, huh? Just
Facts.
Straight up Future and Metro Boomin. And Drake disses.
Facts. Because I can't even make a joke. I was gonna say we're on the we're winning. We're losing. We're on the Metro Boomin side. We got to get to the Drake side. We got to take this victory, or these victories soon, because we can't keep losing series. I don't think we've won a series yet. Now that I think about it, we've just won games.
You're 3-20. Of course we haven't won any series.
Yeah, it's like, have we won the series? I don't think we've won a series.
No, we have not won a series.
Wait, were those 3 games in one series? No. Weren't 2 of those wins in one series? Oh my god.
No, been shut out at least one game in every series that we played. We've got 3 wins.
I know what it is. I know what it is. Series we don't get shut out feels like a win. That's what that is. Any series we don't get shut out in feels like a win.
Oh man, that laugh was right on time with that one.
Right on time. Didn't we win one? God damn it!
Oh man, the White Sox got some work to do, man. At all areas, at all levels, right? Work to do with their stadium plans, work to do with their fan base, work to do with their players on and off the field, work to do with their front office and their management team and their manager. There's work to do for this team and this organization at every possible level. And there's not really an easy pathway in sight for the White Sox in any regard. I mean, I touched on it last week. The Sox are going to do all of this losing. They might set a record for most losses ever, and they won't even get the number 1 pick in next year's draft to show for it. They won't even get a lottery pick in next year's draft to show for it.
Wait. So now, can you explain why we won't get a lottery pick?
So yeah, just to reiterate from last week, right? So the Sox are, the Sox play in Chicago. Chicago is a major market team. Major market teams and teams within revenue sharing. If you're in the lottery for back-to-back years, or if your record puts you in a place where you could pick in the lottery in back-to-back years, you're not going to be allowed to do that. So the White Sox last year finished with a terrible record. They're going to pick 4th or 5th in the current upcoming MLB draft. So they're going to be ineligible next year based off this year's current record, right? So this year's record, let's say they end up and lose 125 games this season. Next season, because they're already picking in the draft lottery, they're going to be ineligible to pick next year, 1 through 9. The highest that they'll be able to pick next season based off this season's record-setting pace of losses is going to be 10th. So again, you're not going to have an easy pathway to fix everything that ails you at the moment, right? You're not going to be able to pull a Chicago Bears and say we want to draft Caleb Williams. Like that's not going to happen. It's unfortunate, right? I mean, again, you in any draft, any professional sports draft, and I said this last week as well, any professional sports draft, you want to pick earlier rather than later. And unfortunately, the White Sox, because of the rules with MLB, because they're picking in a lottery this year, they're going to be ineligible to pick next year. So they're not going to have the opportunity to pick whomever the top players are.
Right.
So, and that sucks, right? If you're a White Sox fan, that's another avenue that you could have taken to get better that you're not going to be able to do. So yeah, man, it's tough sledding in all aspects. Your minors it's going to take a longer time for your minors to get better. if you're not going to be able to pick at the top of the draft. Doesn't mean you still can't find talent. You could find a very talented player at the 10th pick next year. It's not impossible, but would you rather pick first or would you rather pick 10th when you're on a pace to lose 120 games or more?
Facts.
I mean, yeah. So it is what it is, man. There's not a lot of easy wins for the White Sox.
Yeah,
Bottom of the six, still down 6-3, 2 on, 2 out.
This is not the team Nashville or Memphis should be proud to have. This is absurd right now. I know they're looking at these games like, y'all want to bring that here?
Bring the White Sox? No, we'll pass.
No, sorry. No vote.
They can keep them, right? They can keep them. Chicago can have them.
Chicago can keep this team.
That's what they're thinking in Tennessee, right? Chicago can have them.
Absolutely.
We'll pass.
They're like, we don't even like baseball. Why y'all bring them here? What is baseball? Y'all got another football team? Like,
can we get them?
Right. That's what they want. They want a second football team in that state,
which they won't be able to support, by the way.
No, not at all. They can barely support the team they have now that had to come back after years of leaving. But that's another topic for another day. Another day, sorry.
Another day, another show. All of the above.
Facts. Yo, Heat might really pull it out and beat Boston. Why can't Sox upset teams like this?
Hey, yo.
My bad. I use pull it out so loosely. I keep forgetting the different connotations it has.
I think we're good. The fans get it.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching your favorite podcast, The Sox Did What? Brought to you by JJ3 and me, his co-host, Harry. See you guys later.